That's it.
She
That's
had
it.
never sat and gone to the parade.
That's it. Welcome everybody. We got a really interesting video for you here today. Exciting to me anyway. We just got back from a little trip down the coast, and getting everything washed up, and it's just takes a little bit to get everything cleaned up after being in the salt and all that. I like to scrub everything down real good, and I can see we got the frame treated here, and it looks really good inside, and really pleased with that. That's the 3M cavity wax. So got a video on that. Go check that out and how to do that. And this is the first time I've ever been able to wash the Jeep, run a water hose through the frame to flush it out and not get chunks of rust and mess coming out with it. So very impressed with that. And that was, well, I'm not the first time, the second time. The first time last year we took this Jeep down to the coast and hosed all the sand out of it, and I only got sand out of it because we had a lot of wind on that trip. Oh, got a little bumblebee here. Anyway, but anyway, really excited about that. So that's been in there just a tick over a year now, and really pleased with it. So but anyway, the most exciting thing for today's video is this right here. I was stopped down at Joey Jones plantation, and man, talk about cool. It really had a great trip down there visiting him. He's from the YouTube channel JT West, and he give me a set of these rolling cultivators, and I am super excited about them. They really excited to get them all up and going. He gave me all the stuff to rebuild them with, the washers and bearings and all that good stuff, and spacers, and really excited to get those rebuilt. So look for a video on that coming up soon too. And while I was there, I got a little couple shots there of how he puts his on his tractor. And I did that because I've got several folks up here in our area in West Virginia that aren't familiar with them, me included. I still got a lot to learn about them. So I kind of took some shots with some measurements and things like that as to help somebody kind of get a baseline. And bear in mind that what he's doing, those are set for on a hill. So if you're planted on a hill, that's be pretty close. But flat, he kind of goes over how to adjust them on that real quick. So I'm really excited about that. And again, got some folks, while I was down there, a guy from church, Bill, and the pastor of Cochran, they've got a little 140 that they work there at the boys home, and they got a set of these and trying to get them all going. And so I said, you know what, I'll see if Joey will let us video a little bit of that and how he has his, and that'll alleviate some questions for us. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at there. And so I'm really excited to get these things going. And the other interesting things kind of right up here on the front of the trailer is kind of wet where we washed everything down, but I traced out his bent front control arm for the goes on the bail on the 1-point fast hitch. Now this one that's bent, I'm thinking it's pretty close to the same length. We kind of eyeballed it, and it turned out looking pretty close, just kind of bending the oven around, and it looks really close. But it has a bend in it that will let it clear the fertilize distributor mechanism, because where mine are straight, I can't run the fertilizer distributor and still have control of the front half of the 1-point fast hitch. And that gives you your draft and your tilt and all that you need to operate some of the different items you put on there. You know, like running something you hook in the drawbar, not a huge deal. Like the potatoes, I just pinned it to the bottom of the floorboard, took the front of that control arm that goes up to the touch control linkage or rock shaft down to the bail on the 1-point fast hitch, and pulled it. But if you're running something, trying to think what would be an issue, a potato, like, let me think, if you're running maybe a planter, like a 1-point planter, and you're still trying to put fertilizer down, you want to get that just right. Or if you're like me and you just need to disc a little area real quick and then get back to planting, and you want to do that on the same tractor, it's hard to get all that in there. So anyway, real excited about that. So we kind of traced that, took his, laid him down to a trailer, traced him. That'll let me get some built. And I've got a friend of mine I went to school with. He hops on the channel here sometimes too, and he's been trying to locate one of those. So I may just build some scratch out of new material, and that way we'll have some and not bend up a straight one. But anyway, but again, really excited about that. And we took the saws and all the goodies down there with us to do a little bit of tree work for my mom. She lives down there, so we did that and tried to have a little bit of fun, and again had a great trip back. So check out for the tree work stuff. And there goes the girls on the four-wheeler and heading down to check out some pigs, I guess. So but anyway, good stuff. And we're going to let this thing drip dry and get it ready to put back in the building. And real excited about getting these things going. So stay tuned. We'll have a couple clips here of how those set up, and also check in there. You'll get to see some tree trimming stuff. I've got a little bit of video from actually 2 different years worth of tree trimming coming up at the same location, and a video of a boring machine doing some underground boring. So kind of some neat things in the pipeline there for you. But anyway, on these guys here, again, will be some clips here of how they're set up, and then keep tuned in for a little later on. We'll do some rebuilding on these guys. So, but anyway, thanks a bunch. We'll catch you a little later. Plant.
Flat side to the plant.
You can see by flat, it's this smooth versus this curved edge right here. All right, and then it looks like, of course, it might determine what plants you're running is the spacing apart, but
yes,
somewhere in the neighborhood of 5-6 inches is where these are at currently.
These things here are attached. I mean, if you look, they're all the way as far as you can get them to the edge.
Yep.
Same as that one.
Yeah.
Make sure this is not too tall so it don't hit your oil pan.
Right, that makes sense.
And then this one's always slid all the way in. Honestly, you can use a short arm over here. Like I could cut this one off if I wanted to.
Yeah, I've got some more short ones, so that'll be great.
Generally, you would run short arm, long arm, but see, all I got's long arms. It's not a big deal.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll bring you some short ones next time I'm by. I've got several short ones.
Somebody emailed me wanting to know about taking these cogs off to put the bar on. I said, well, you don't got a bent bar. You just need to take the whole fertilizer off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually what I do. I just pull that whole thing off.
You don't want to mess with trying to take that cog on and off.
Yeah, because that's an aggravation to pull all that junk. That bent bar is going to be the ticket.
I got a video that ain't come out yet.
Yeah.
It's cultivating with the minimum amount of equipment.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
I'm using these.
Yeah.
And then they were running like this right here.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is when I cultivate it again, I'm going to put these back on and then put these turning hose on.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that, I'm going to lay it by with probably turning hose and disc.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why you couldn't. Yeah.
No, I'm just showing, you know, what I'm trying to show is you don't have to have rolling cultivator.
All the cool stuff to do it with. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. That's it. I like your big old bushings on there, too.
Well, that's probably on there since I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah.
And one thing about this old girl here, she's a working tractor.
That's it. That's it.
Never sit and gone to the parade.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. That is, and as far as your rotation on these.
Yeah. So the more, like right now, if I was to loosen this up right here.
Yeah. Okay. That's on the end of the standoff. Yeah.
Pushed it back this way.
Right.
The more it's going to throw.
That makes sense.
The more I come back this way with it, it's just going to kind of put little divots in the ground.
Okay.
It's almost like spiking the soil.
That makes sense.
So if you really wanted to go through some real young stuff and just break the crust,
yeah,
flip that thing all the way straight like that, and then level it up right here.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You could just, it'd be just like little spikes running along beside it.
Yeah, that wouldn't throw anything, cover anything up. Yeah. Well, good deal. Oh, that looks cool.
You just don't see me adjust them much, but there's all kinds of little adjustments you can do on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it works out pretty good.
Well, I am really excited to get these in the ground, and Bill will be real excited to get some info on his too. So that'll be great. Yeah. So I'm going to just pull a couple quick measurements here. Just so it looks like that one is the front with it up in the air is about 11, and the inside is about 15. Some kind of just baseline stuff.
If I leveled it up, it would just throw more dirt.
That makes sense.
It dig harder on those front tines. I do like that so it doesn't dig quite as hard.
I see.
And plus, most time I'm dealing with kind of a halfway bed anyway.
Yes, it's already kind of shaped.
Now, if I was dead flat,
yeah,
you could probably go level with it and it'd be all right.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And then right here, from straight here at the top of the point, back to the upper point's about 10.
Because it's going to, because you're using this,
I got
it's
you.
going to be what it's going to be.
Okay.
Now here's what you probably could never do with this.
Yeah.
You can get away with it with smaller 4s.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to take this and hang it on the cuff.
Right.
Because that 5th one's going to be in there.
That makes sense.
A small set of 4s you can hang it on the cuff, but the problem is you can't see. You almost have to look like this.
It's too far behind you.
It's too far behind you.
That's what Bill was asking about, was the because he sent me a picture of theirs and they mounted them on the cuffs on these, and I told him, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to put them on standoffs to get them close enough.
You can.
And
I had these cuffs here for mounting something like that.
Yeah.
They got these set screws.
Yep. Sure enough. Yeah.
And it's a thicker cuff.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work out good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you got these old jewels here, and everybody always asks me about it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what they call them, and
there's a guy down in Louisiana, I think he called him the Bayou Gardener. He had a set like that.
Yeah.
And I think he called them row hippers.
These were homemade spacers, and what you did, you just got this disc, used the same 3/4 as the rolling cultivators.
Yeah.
Took the rolling cultivators out, put the disc in, put the spacers in.
Well, isn't that neat?
That's all you did.
That is neat, isn't it?
Those are rolling cultivators. Matter of fact,
yeah.
Look here. Brand new disc. That was a disc for them right there.
See how big those are. Let me pull a tape across them.
Probably 10 or 12 maybe.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, 14. Yeah. Yeah, very cool.
And then I got stuff like you never see me use. I got stuff like these.
Yeah.
Little lay-by things.
Buzzard wings.
These are called roll knockoffs.
Yeah. Isn't that all kinds of cool stuff?
Yeah, I got quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah.
I hardly use. Yeah. These are John Deere feet, and you say, well, what are you doing with them? Well, I mean, if I'm using it on the extension arms, I don't have to.
It doesn't
have
matter.
The same, yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. Very neat. Very neat. Well, I tell you, this is cool. Yeah, I'm excited to try out a set of these guys. I really appreciate it. That is going to. I'm going
to take this at them too, because I won't ever use them.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, I appreciate it.
I'll use these right here.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I'm going to get a shot under there so we can see what that looks like going down the row. Well, there they are together. Oh, yeah. All right, one more thing, too, I wanted to not forget about is to remind you for October 15th, Joey is going to have a plow day down there at his, real close to where he lives, and we went last year and had an absolutely wonderful time. So please don't forget to put that on your calendar and come join us. It's going to be a great time. It's a great family event. You don't have to worry about things going on that you wouldn't want your family to be there for, and it's just a great family, Christian-oriented thing, and please come join us. It'll be a great time, and thanks again, Joey, for the awesome rolling cultivators.